On with us is Dr. Daniel Ennis, President, Delta State University. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Mr. Gallo. How you doing?
Oh, it's a pleasure. It is a Friday, and we are getting ready for some big stuff going on August the 1st. I want to talk about that in a moment or two. But first of all, there are a lot of course corrections, a lot of things. There's some positive stuff coming out of Delta State with course corrections and trying to make this thing work. But let me give you the microphone just to give us an update of what's going on at Delta State.
Well, thank you for the time. I want to say, first of all, hello to all our wonderful alums all across the state of Mississippi and across the South. What's going on at Delta State is going on in higher education in many places. You know, we've seen a contraction in this industry, if you will. There are fewer students going to college, and there's fewer high school students in general, both in Mississippi and across the nation. And unfortunately, that means that higher education has to adjust. And on the particular level, that means universities have to look at who they recruit, how they recruit, and what programs they offer. And so as I came on as the new president of Delta State, one of the things I had to do was assess where we stood and how we could keep going financially. And so the course correction you refer to is primarily one involving restructuring the university. We reduced the amount of administrators. We looked at our staffing at every area, including maintenance and student affairs and all the places where we have payroll. And we took a hard look at academics. And I found that we had many majors on this campus that didn't have enough students to be viable. And so I bought the IHL a proposal to streamline our programming. The IHL accepted that. And now we're moving forward with both supporting the students who are in majors right now that will not continue. They will all have a teach-out plan for 2 years so they can complete their degrees. But what I'm most excited about is I've had a team of academics spend the summer designing 4 new degree programs that are much more responsive to market forces, and I believe will be very competitive for incoming students, particularly transfer students and students who are looking for a different way to get advanced in their careers. So we're quite excited about the future of Delta State.
Have those been identified and released as far as publicly? Which one?
Well, you know, the important thing about curriculum is that administrators don't write it. I don't dictate from above what we must do. I called on the faculty to design degrees that I thought made sense for us in our moment in time here in the Delta. And a team has designed them. The faculty will return in August. They'll be submitted to the faculty for their approval. Then we'll take them up to the IHL. So I expect that we can make an announcement early in the fall about where we stand on those new programs.
I think we had 1 or 2 that we talked about over the last maybe 6 months, 8 months of some community colleges and places like that. It actually shut the doors. So you are right. It's something that's endemic to most of colleges, universities across the entire country.
Yeah, it's a tough time because every month a university in America closes its doors, and Delta State's not going to be one of them. And that means having to change what we do and how we do it.
All right, let's talk about this. The Delta State University Department of Athletics is thrilled to announce a Night of Champions special event featuring Mississippi's football legend Archie Manning, along with a Delta State alumni and Athletics Hall of Famer, the one and only Langston Rogers. Tell me about the event and are there tickets still available, and when does it happen? Where does it happen?
Well, this is going to be a thrill, and it's going to be especially a thrill for me because not from the Delta. I've heard so much about these gentlemen, and now I get to meet them in person. Of course, all your listeners know who Archie Manning is, although not all of them would know that he's a Delta boy. He's from this region. He knows this area. He grew up just not very far from Cleveland, just right up the road in a small town. And he's always had a place in his heart for the Delta. That's his roots. And he's come back many times, I understand, and we're very excited he's coming back on August 1st at 7 p.m. here on campus. But, you know, along with him, I'm equally excited to meet, one of our alums. We're talking about Mr. Rogers. He's primarily associated with Ole Miss, which, of course, where he spent most of his career. But he spent 17 years here at Delta State as alum as our sports information director. So like Mr. Manning, Mr. Rogers, these are 2 Delta boys that made good in the big stage, and we're glad to have them home on August 1st at 7 p.m. here at Delta State University.
Another guy that spent a lot of time there with in that area, along with Langston, would be Stan Sandroni, and I just had to mention his name also. But how does Archie work in here? What's he gonna do, and when does this happen? You said August the 1st.
Yeah, August 1st at 7 p.m. at the Coliseum.
7
And of course, tickets are still available. They can certainly reach out. We've got it all over our social media channels. And if they reach out to our athletic department or our foundation, folks can get tickets, and folks can sponsor a whole table, or they can buy individual tickets. And of course, this is a big fundraiser for our athletic program. Archie Manning and Langston Rogers will be speaking, and I don't know exactly what they'll be doing. I imagine they'll be telling great stories about both their time in the Delta and their time in the larger athletic world, and it's going to be a fascinating evening for anybody who's interested in Mississippi athletics, and not just Delta State athletics, but how these men have shaped and been shaped by athletics throughout their lives. So it's going to be a wonderful evening, and we're hoping for a sellout. We've had good response thus far. So that's August 1st at 7 p.m. here at Delta State University.
Tickets available on phone, or are they also available on online?
Yes, we have a link online, and you can certainly find it, again, for our social media pages or through our Delta State Athletic Department webpage. You can click through there and get those tickets.
Somebody asked me, it was quite a while ago, talking about the aviation program there. It's been one of the ones that has a lot of success and notoriety, maybe because of its uniqueness, but you guys have done a great job on that one. How's it going?
I'm so proud of all of our programs, but I'll say in particular, whenever I go out and around and represent Delta State University, which I'm so proud to do, it doesn't take 10 seconds before someone mentions our aviation program. And I think that's because it speaks to national need. There's a national need for pilots everywhere in America, but also we have a lot of local and regional needs. We have agricultural aviation, and we have a terrific program that helps folks with that. Crop spraying is extraordinarily important for our economy, and that's a highly skilled activity that you just can't pick up without some simulator time and some expertise. So, the other thing I love about that program is its enrollment is strong, and those alums go all over the world. And I tell you, I've seen pictures. I've yet to meet a Delta State pilot on a Delta flight, but I cannot wait to do so. But a lot of our alums wear little Delta State pins, and they're on American Airlines, or they're flying for FedEx, and they're all over the world. So one of my great moments as a president I'm looking forward to is I'll be getting on a plane. I'll be getting back in coach, of course. I'll be way back in row 36. But on my way in, I'm going to glance over at the pilot, and I'm going to see a Delta State alum. There's thousands of them out there.
I think that's the best way to get upgraded. When that comes together, it's like find Waldo. Where's Waldo? But when that happens, you're probably going to get upgraded to first class.
Well, I tell you what, I'm a hard-working president who has to watch his dollars. So if any first class comes my way, it's because of a Delta State upgrade, and I'll take it.
There you go. All right, passing shots here. Anything else you want to mention, sir? But as far as Delta State, lots of good things happening. It's all on the website. If you want to be part of this, the tickets are still available. And again, it's going to be on August 1st. So you do have time. Yes, you do have time, both for table sponsorships and individual tickets. Just in general, I've got to say, this is the time of year where the students aren't around and we're preparing for them. But, we're going to turn the corner to the fall semester very quickly, and it's an exciting time to be a statesman or a Fighting Okra or both. Yeah. I got to ask you, when you got there and you saw kind of like Lanyap, the Grammy Museum, what were your thoughts?
I was blown away. I was so pleased. It was right by our campus, and we have such a great, close relationship with that organization. We support them, and they support us in so many ways. And when you talk about a place like the Grammy Museum and Cleveland with its restaurants and its businesses, you've got a place where people will come and spend money and spend time. And I'd underestimated how important tourism was to the Delta, but it's becoming increasingly important. And that's one of those things that is changing that a university has to be aware of and think about when we do our programming. But the Grammy in particular, if you're within my hearing and you have not come up to Cleveland, gone to the Grammy Museum, had some lunch, maybe make a blues day of it and stop in Indianola to the B.B. King Museum or head on up to Clarksdale, you're missing out. The Grammy Museum is not just a terrific museum, it's a world-class museum. I've seen museums all over the world. I've been to the Louvre, I've been to London, I've been to Florence. I've seen the great museums. Yeah. The Grammy Museum is top-notch.
You sit there and you talk to some of your folks back home and you tell them that. They said, are you sure you haven't been drinking? But you're absolutely right. I mean, you could go to Ground Zero, have an experience there, go to the Grammys, B.B. King, to the max, and we could go on and on. It's always a pleasure having you, sir. Thank you very much. Good luck on the event. I think it's going to be a big one, and again, it's on August the 1st at the Coliseum. Tickets are still available. Dr. Daniel
We're very
Ennis,
excited.
President, Delta State. Thank you.